Welcome back, YouTubers. Free to play gaming here again. I'm doing another user video here, and channel 5001 is just blowing up. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 people interested in getting their monsters reviewed. And there's a couple viewers, Kildarian and Tiger, who are in here chatting it up, and they've already had their reviews done. So it's awesome. Um, let's go ahead and do some picks. We're going to pick three and try to get through three members today and give some rune suggestions and team builds and kind of just give my general take like I usually do on these things. So, okay, result. Here we go. First one is Saruman. This is cool because he's in here regularly. He's generally giving advice. He probably knows a lot more about this than me, just from what I've seen his advice come through. He's always helping people. I'm really glad I picked Saruman here. Okay, second pick is Clark. Okay, I think you mentioned, there you are right there, that you might have some new monsters. So this will be a little bit different video as well. Saruman's very experienced. You might not be. So congratulations, and tie 5521. And there you are. So it looks like I'm going to easily be able to find you to do these reviews. So let's start it out with Saruman. Now this is cool. I love doing these videos. I'm just going to let you guys know real quick so you stay in chat. And Clark got picked. Okay. Let's start it out real quick with Saruman here. If I can just find the last time he chatted. There he is. If you're not on my friends list, this is the only way I'm going to be able to... Oh, come on, chat. Alright, here we go. We'll just go right to visiting. Okay, he's level 37. Sunday afternoon here. I'm going to try to make this fairly quick video, hopefully less than a half hour, because I want to catch the last half of the Detroit Lions. I know some of you are probably booing me for rooting for the Detroit Lions right now, but I'm from Michigan, and that's the only sports team I really like to follow. So, alright, starting it out. Lucian, awesome. Congratulations on him. Pretty much everybody is jealous of him. He's an awesome monster. Let's take a look at your runes. You got Fatal Blade here. I think that's exactly what you need. 6-star attack percent rune. This is awesome. Hopefully next week we're going to be getting the Power Stone event, which is the same as the Halloween candy event for those of you who were around for that. And that gives you a double chance every time you try to power up a rune to be successful. So that can help a ton with these 6-star runes going from plus 12 to plus 15. So possibly wait for that if you're running low on mana stones. If you have tons of mana stones saved up, which I can't see right now, plus 16 this right away, that's going to give you plus 20% more attack damage. Awesome rune, congratulations. Plus it's got accuracy, speed, a few extra attack here, and a defense percent. This isn't the best, but it's still a percent rune, so that's good. Oh boy, you got two of them. You are going to have a beast on your hands here. That's awesome. And then you got a 4-star one as well, so that's very cool. I don't know how much advice I'm going to be able to give you. I might just be showing people how awesome your monsters are. So you got the Fire Death Knight here. That's a very highly sought after monster. You got energy runes. I assume these are all hit points. Yes, they are. The reason he's so powerful is some of his skills here. Drains life from the targeted enemy. This guy can pretty much, he can almost one-shot my characters, but fire is strong against wind, and of course I have Lucian, Julian, and my wind Shemati. So I have 3 wind monsters. He just wrecks them. He can almost one-shot them, and he steals 30% of their hit points, which goes back to him, which is, it just wrecks them. So inflict damage proportionate to your hit points. So you got all hit point runes doing everything right here. To all enemies, and weakens their attack power for 2 turns. So when he casts this, it just annihilates the other team. This is an awesome monster. Looks like you're doing everything right here. You got a 3-star here, you got a 4-star, so you should be able to level, you already got these level 12, so I'm sure this is a very powerful monster. Got Chloe here, super speed, you got swift, and then you got a speed energy rune here. The only thing I might try to suggest is farm yourself a speed rune here that's a 5-star. You can do that right in the regular dungeons. Just farm the boss mode in hell, and you should be able to get yourself a speed rune, a 5-star speed rune here. And this one's pretty good, you know. For a 3-star, not bad. I suggest getting a 5-star here. That's going to give you quite a bit extra speed for your Chloe. Swift runes, that's exactly what you should be doing. Hit point there. Hit point there. Perfect. You know, you got speed substats here. Not here, but that's okay. So awesome. You got 3 awesome monsters here. You got your Rauk with Fatal Blade. I'm hearing a lot of mixed reviews on whether people like Fatal Blade or if they like Revenge to get that extra % chance to attack. I hear for the Rauk, he's already got an extra chance to attack, so it makes sense to use that blade set on him. I believe it's Revenge at least. And but I don't know exactly which one's better. It's kind of a trade-off. So nothing wrong with Fatal Blade here, especially you're level 37 and you got these monsters already. Very cool. I can't really recommend anything here. You got attack % all the way around the board. That's going to help you clear dungeons. Good job. That's exactly what you should be doing. Just taking a quick look. You got a 6-star rune here. Yeah, definitely give this some love. Looks like you're missing out on some pluses here that are really cheap and easy for the first 6 or so. Plus 10. Okay, good stuff. You got a Windrock Shasa here. I don't know too much about this character. I only have the fire one. So you got Swift Blade. You got attack %, attack %, attack %. Okay. This is plus 11. I would definitely go plus 12. Get yourself, well, it's not going to, well, get yourself the next substat because you got 4 that it shows here, but one of them comes from this being strong, I believe. Or maybe not. I'm not totally sure here, but I'd probably plus 12 this. Let's see. Let's just take a look at this one because I'm not too familiar. This will help me learn. Get an extra turn with 15% chance when your turn is over. Okay, so it's kind of like Rauk here, a little bit. Attacks 3 times in a row and inflicts continuous damage for 2 turns if you land a critical hit. So that makes, it seems to me like you want to have a critical rune down here, and you have an attack % rune. So throwing a critical % rate rune here might be a good choice. I hear the Windrock Rakshasa is a pretty good monster actually. So I'm not discounting her by any means. Attacks the enemy with a whip, decreasing the enemy's attack speed for 2 turns. That's the general Rakshasa attack. So this seems decent. I'm sure she helps out in dungeons. Let's take a look at what else you got. You got a 4-star Megan here. And with this team, you know, I can't really see your arena offense team, but I'm kind of guessing you got Chloe going on with your speed. So as long as you get your Chloe's Fanatic ability off first, all allies are invincible for 1 turn. Then the rest of your team can just wreck the board. Now I don't know if you're using your Rauk or your Megan, but I would probably suggest, let's see, I'm not sure what you're doing for a leader skill either. I don't see a speed leader. But you got some good monsters though. Okay, so the water succubus I think is a speed leader. So let me take a quick glance over here. I'm sure you have a good team built here around your Death Knight, Lucian, and Chloe. That would be my guess. But I'm trying to give suggestions here. And from just seeing your monsters, I would probably level up your water succubus. Get her awakened so you get the leader skill of attack speed here. And then possibly incorporate your Megan into the team. So then you would have water succubus, team leader. You'd have Megan, who's going to give that extra skill 3 buff. So she's going to cast this first. It's going to fill the rest of the attack bars on your other 2 monsters, which are probably going to be your Lucian and Fire Death Knight. So this is a possible arena team for you to work towards. So again, you got speed leader. This is the only speed leader you have. It's not the absolute best, but it's still pretty darn good. It's going to increase the attack speed of ally monsters by 24%. Actually, that might be just as good as my Sylph. I think it is actually, but she might not. I don't think she's quite as versatile of a monster. So let's see. Attacks the enemy 4 times. So this isn't AoE. This isn't AoE. So that's what makes her a little bit less desirable than my Wind Sylph. But you could still use her as a leader. Come over, use your Megan. Definitely go for. Let's see what you got here. You got a 3-star speed rune. Get a 5-star speed rune minimum. Get a plus 12 5-star speed rune. You already have Swift. That's good. Swift energy. Doing everything right. You might want to throw accuracy here instead of hit points. And this needs to be hit points, so that's good. The accuracy is to deal with Renas. If you have more accuracy here, then your Toad Poison is going to hit more continuously, and you want your Toad Poison to remove a beneficial effect, which will be the Rena's shield. So that's going to be pretty important. So I'd probably go accuracy here. I would definitely get a 5-star speed rune, and then 5-star your Megan, get her max level, work on your water succubus. I'm not sure what runes to suggest right away. She doesn't have AoE, so not despair. I'm going to leave that up to the viewers. Maybe they can do a rune suggestion for us real quick, because I want to get to the other 2 viewers. So those 2 monsters, and then water, and then fire, Death Knight, and Lucian. Those will be your major hitting attackers. And that's going to be a pretty solid team right there. And then maybe you can get a different speed leader down the road, which will be a little more desirable, like the Wind Sylph, who can maybe get some stuns off for you. So that'll be cool. You got a 5-star Undyne here. I know this is a pretty good monster. I don't know too much about it. It's more, I don't know if it's good for arena, but it's probably a lot better for dungeons. Revives a dead ally with 40% hit points, so that's a really good revive skill. Attacks all enemies with a swirling hurricane, so you got AoE here. Recovers the lowest hit point ally by 20%. So that's okay. I got a feeling she's not going to have very high base attack, so she's not going to be as useful in your current arena team. I'm sure she's useful on some other teams. So pretty awesome. You got. Let's just quickly go through the rest of your monsters. Water Imp. You might want to get this guy to 5-star and use him as your next 6-star monster. Or actually, your first 6-star, your second 6-star monster. Your Lucian's already 6-star. So as far as which monster to go 6-star next, Fire Death Knight. Fire Death Knight is really OP in my mind right now while I'm recording this. Things change. Your JoJo, that's a pretty awesome monster. I don't have much to suggest on him because I haven't worked on mine yet. Clara, I've loved her. She's been a really good monster. I put Despair Focus runes on mine. But she's kind of sitting on the sidelines, and I'm only using her for dungeon battles now because, well, I just replaced her with my Lucian, actually. So I'm going to rate her like 8 out of 10 stars. She's really good, but she might not be top tier for certain teams. But definitely very good. You got your Light Fairy here, Neil. Very useful in certain dungeons. I'm jealous because I need to get myself a Light Amen here. Nine-Tail Fox, that's awesome, that's good. Water Ninja. A lot of people are trying to get the Fire Martial Cat so they can do the fusion. Very cool. I see you have worked on a copper here. I don't know much about that, but I know that Black Bear uses one, and he has gotten very far in arena with one. He does mostly defense runes, I believe, on his. And looks like you got a Sylphid as well. You got some fodder monsters, it looks like. For the most part, you're going to probably turn these into 4 stars, feed those to other 4 stars to 5-star them. So I'm not going to go any farther down the list. Congratulations, you got really good monsters there. So Solomon, congratulations. My recommendations are, just like I said before, Megan, Speed Leader, possibly, and then these 2 monsters to add on your team, and I think you'll get the farthest in arena, which is the basis of what I'm doing these videos on right now. These are good monsters too. If you, it's very possible if you do a Speed Leader instead of going with Megan, that you go with Chloe, then you guarantee your survival a little longer for at least one entire turn. So the speed leader boosts Chloe, who's already fast. Then you don't even need the Megan's buffs. The Megan's buffs are useful though because she increases the attack power. So it's kind of a toss-up. You can either go with Megan or you can go with Chloe. So in the short term, you might want to go with your speed leader, Water Vampire, Chloe because she's already a 5-star and you have her already pretty good, and then these two monsters. And then maybe see how Megan incorporates into the team as well. So very cool. I'm going to switch over to the next person here. And hopefully we don't have any trouble finding them. So the next one, geez, I'm having a blank here. That was Clark, was second, and then Ty. And I'm probably not going to be able to scroll all the way up. Okay, here's Clark. I know he was picked, so we'll take a look at him. Yep, level 15. He's a little bit of a newer player. I'm going to take a quick look at his defense team. So this is good. You're trying to get more glory points. This is what I recommend, especially for players who aren't really getting very many crystals to begin with. You know, fight the low-level players. Just make sure all your arena victories, your arena tokens are going towards wins. So if you have just a single player here, you're going to get more glory points. That's awesome. But it is Sunday, and Monday is when you get your points, so you might want to switch this up. I always switch mine to a full 4-person defense team on Sunday, so that then I can at least get a higher ranking to get some crystals. So I just want to throw that out there. Whew. I've already done quite a bit of talking. Let's see, it's 3:30. Lions should still be playing. I should be able to hit the fourth quarter here. So I like your island. You got things laid out here. It looks like you moved all your trees. Kind of cool there. Okay, low-level monsters. What can I recommend for you to build on for a team? And like I've said previously, maybe I shouldn't be recommending anything because there's a lot of players with more knowledge on this than me. But you got a Megan here. Definitely work on this. She's going to be very valuable to your team. Congratulations on getting her in a poll. So right off the bat, I'm seeing Megan. Does it make sense to incorporate Shannon with Megan? Let's see. So Megan's going to have the increased attack power and defense of your allied monsters. Shannon is going to increase attack power and defense of allied monsters. So you don't want both of these monsters. Megan is a better choice. So drop the working on your Shannon. Looks like she's level 17 here. Just focus on Megan. You're not going to want to focus on your Saik as much anymore as for arena battles. Saik can still be very useful as an attacker in dungeon battles. So what I'm seeing here is you got a Water Inugami here. That would be a good leader. So awaken him. He's going to give you a leader skill. Well, actually, he already has the leader skill to increase the speed of water-based monsters. So that's going to increase your Megan. So it looks like your top 3 monsters, your first 3 monsters here, would be your best arena defense team. Just looking at them, let's take a look at the runes. You have no runes on him. You might want to put some runes on him because you probably weren't thinking he's too useful. But his leader skill, why is this not letting me click on it? There we go. Increase the attack speed of ally monsters with water attribute by 23%. So I would use him as leader. Use your Megan. Definitely evolve her, awaken her, get the speed runes that I've already suggested on her. Maximum speed, swift, and a 2-slot speed rune. And then you're going to ensure that she goes first. Her third skill is going to ensure that other monsters go first. And I would even probably stick with your fairy right here for the monsters that I'm seeing. Wow, you just started. I hope you get a premium pack soon. So that's going to be my next recommendation to you. Is definitely save up your crystals for a premium pack. Okay. And then with that premium pack, hopefully we'll get you some 4-star monsters that you can incorporate into your team as well. So just looking at these base monsters, I'm going to say Megan, your Water Inugami as leader, and then evolve and awaken her just because she's uh, water right now. But I would focus on these two first, and then you might even probably consider your Amazon here as your fourth person in your arena team. Just because she's water based, she's going to benefit from the leader skill, and she's not a highly recommended. She doesn't do very much attack. Out of the Amazons, she might be the worst, but I'm not. It's not going to be by a considerable margin. So probably just go with a water team here to get you started. You're going to benefit from this leader skill tremendously. Even in dungeons, this will be a good team for you because she's going to kick off some heals. You're going to get this increased attack buff. Your Amazon's going to be your attacker who really benefits from the attack buff from Megan. So awaken her first. I'm going to say this is your number one priority, and don't be afraid to get her to 5-star as soon as possible. I'd probably leave the Water Inugami at 4-star, but don't be afraid to 4-star him. And then incorporate these two, finish up the levels on her, get some runes, Fatal Blade on your Amazon. As far as your fairy, you got a couple energy runes here. You could finish this off with, you could go Fatal Energy, or if you wanted to, you could go energy all the way around the board. The main thing I want to point out is these two monsters, your Amazon and your fairy, aren't going to stick with you very long. So don't focus too much on them, just use them to get farther in the game. And once you get that premium pack, I wish you the best luck, and I hope you get some 4-stars and even a 5-star that you can start incorporating into this team. Maybe you'll get a speed leader that's going to replace your Water Inugami. Maybe you're going to get a really strong attack leader that's going to benefit you a lot more in dungeons, such as drawing another blank. Fire Joker? Does he have the attack skill? Anyways, that's about all I can recommend for you. Looks like you're doing the right thing. Just feed a couple 2-stars to your Angelmon here. That's going to give you another 3-star. That's going to help you get your Megan to 4-star. So you already have, this will be one more. And then feed, when you go to 4-star with your Water Inugami, farm up some other Water Inugamis in level 1. So just keep farming that until you get 3 of them. And then feed all 3 of the Water Inugamis that you have to this Water Inugami. And that's going to give you 3 skill ups as well. So that's the suggested, it only makes sense to do that. Not only do you get to awaken him, or not awaken, but evolve him to 4-star, but you get 3 skill ups as well. So make sure you're doing that with your Water Inugami. And try to do that with your Megan as well. If you get lucky enough to pull some other Mystic Witches, feed them to your Megan to get the Megan to 4-star. So that's all my suggestions for you. Looks like congratulations on starting this game, and you're only going to improve from this point on. Pretty cool. Okay, and the last one was Ty. See if we can't find his chat here. If not, we might have trouble. Okay, doesn't look like he's chatting here. Alright, let's just see if he's around. Thank you guys so much for watching this. And thanks for all your helpful comments. I just did a video on the Wind Sylphid's runes, and I changed my mind halfway in between. I just realized that a chatting server was lost. Come on. Okay, I'm pretty sure he's not on my friends list, so I can't find him that way. I wonder if there's another easy way for me to find him. You guys can see I have 75 friend requests. So I apologize. I've been getting a lot of friend requests right now, and I can't accept anybody unless there's a specific reason for me to accept you. I'd love to accept everybody. I wish I could have 1,000 friends in this game, and I wish we could have 1,000 guild members in this game, but all we can do is work the guild with the wait list. Okay, let's see here. I might have to do a different person here. And then Ty will just be next in the next video. Okay, there he is. Perfect. Okay, level 32. It looks like you're already a fighter in the arena, so that's good. You got your defensive team set up here with Megan, Julian, Rauk, and Jojo. That's pretty solid there. I'm liking the looks of that for defense. Defense isn't as big of a deal like I've commented before, but it's kind of good to see what you have there. Quite often the defense team is the same as your offense team. So hopefully my videos aren't getting stale here, guys. If you have any suggestions on how I can improve, you're the ones who are viewing these, so you know where I'm falling short here more than I do. So give me all your comments, suggestions, feedback. That's awesome. Okay, so you got a 5-star arena, my most hated monster. A lot of us have seen a level 40 arena take down my entire team, and that can be very frustrating. But let's take a look at the runes. Yeah, you got all hit point runes. That's perfect. Plus 10, plus 10, plus 10. So instead of going plus 10 on these runes, it makes sense to go to plus 9 because that's when you get your substat, and then just pick one rune at a time and go right from plus 9 to plus 12. I think that's a better suggestion than doing them evenly across the board with all plus 10s. So that's just a simple suggestion. This looks fine to me. Looks like you fed a couple other Epicon priests to her. That's good. Okay, you got a 5-star Rauk. Everybody should have one of these. These are farmable and they're highly recommended in dungeons, especially when you're starting out in the game. Fatal Blade, this is very standard. You got everything going on here good. Attack percent, attack percent. These are 3 stars, so you can easily get these to plus 12 as soon as you start getting the mana stones. Looks like you're doing the same thing as you were doing with your arena. You're going evenly across the board, and instead of going evenly, I would take one of them to plus 12 first, and then do another one plus 12. Okay, congratulations, you got a Julian. This is one of my favorite monsters. Kind of interesting. You got Rage and Blade here. Okay, so I don't think any of these... Okay, so you have an increased critical rate on the surprise visit here, so that's probably why you went with Rage. But the main reason to have him is he's got very high attack power. So you guys can probably hear my son crying in the background. It's nap time for him. Okay, so the main reason to have him is he really specializes in having very high base attack, so it really makes sense to go with Fatal Blade on him. Now Rage probably isn't a bad choice because your critical damage is up 40%, so as a single target attacker, this benefits a lot from having that Rage. You're doing more damage with your critical rates, and you already have 30% extra critical rate with this skill, which is also a stunning skill, making him even more powerful. And your critical rate's 58 already. So Rage isn't a horrible choice here, but I think Fatal's going to benefit you more overall. You already have very good runes here, plus 12s all the way around. You have attack percent, I hope attack percent, and crit rate. So crit rate's good here. Nothing wrong with that, but you're mostly going to be using him for his AoE ability, which has attacks 3 times and has a 10% chance to stun each time. So Despair is not a bad choice for Julian. I took Despair off mine because I just wanted mass attack damage. Most people will go with Despair Focus. Focus is going to increase this percent chance to stun, but it's not going to increase the Despair's chance to stun. So just be mindful of that. So Despair Blade probably wouldn't be a bad choice, and even Fatal Blade would be a good choice. I'm not too keen on Rage, but you could do worse. That would probably be like my 3rd or 4th choice for rune sets. So don't hurry up and change this out. I'm sure he's doing very well for you, especially for single target attacks. But if you're looking for a little bit more AoE damage and you're just lacking a little bit in that field for arena, switch it out for Fatal or Despair. Despair is going to give you those very important stuns. So in general, the only reason I switched him out to Fatal is because I was having a lot of problems with Rena teams, and honestly, I think I might have liked him better with Despair runes. So, your choice here, but I don't know that I would recommend this for new players for Rage. Okay, so Jojo, I don't know too much about him, but I know that this is recommended Fatal Focus. So accuracy, attack, attack. Here we go. Here's a heck of a rune right here. You got the 6-star attack percent rune. This is very important, so I'd definitely get this to plus 12 as soon as possible, and then spend some money getting it to plus 15. Probably going to make sense for you to wait until we have a Power Stone event, because that's when you're going to capitalize the most off that double chance to get a power up from runes. Is when you're going from a plus 12 to a plus 15 6-star rune. You're gonna save the most money by using your Power Stones at that time. But this is awesome. This is going to be a very strong monster for your team. Congratulations on both these monsters. Very good. Everybody I've been reviewing lately has an Almond except me. And of course, you guys know that he's very powerful in dungeons. And 2 Blade energy is what I've seen a ton for these almonds. So it looks like you're doing everything right. Of course, he wants hit points and he needs crit rate. So it looks like you're doing things really good here. Fantastic. I'm sure he's helping you out in dungeons a lot. You got a Megan, very good. You got a speed rune, it's a 4-star, better than a 3-star, but not quite a 5-star, which you could get if you farm Hell mode. It might take quite a while, because if you're farming Hell mode level 7 for the boss, you have a 1 in 6 chance for your proper number rune to drop, and then you have like a 1 in 7 chance for the speed rune to drop, and then you have even less chance for it to be a 5-star. So it's pretty difficult to farm a 5-star speed swift rune. I say everybody should get one because it's farmable, but in reality it's actually quite difficult to farm that. So this is a good rune. You got swift focus, that's good. Accuracy and hit point percent, perfect. Very good. I would think about making this a 5-star monster, but let's take a look at what you have, and maybe we can make a team that's going to get you farther in arena. You got the light Inugami here, that's good. I don't know too much about them, but I know they're very useful in dungeons, so I'm going to be increasing my knowledge of this later. Looks like you already got, you're working towards the Wind Sylphid Acasis. I just did a video on runes on that if you're interested. Got some other good monsters here. You got an Undyne that could possibly be useful in your team. Don't know too much about the elementals. Okay. So pretty generic monsters. You got another Megan here. Probably going to just want to feed these Mystic Witches to your other Megan. But what might make sense, what's going to make sense, don't hurry up and 5-star this Megan. Get your other Mystic Witches. I would start focusing on Mystic Witches. Get them max level, get them to 4-star level 1, and then feed 4 of them. If you have 4 of them, you have 1, 2. Got a lot of monsters, got a lot of fodder monsters here. Looks like you only have 2. But that's okay, that's going to give you 2 skill ups. So get them to 4-star level 1, and then feed them to your already evolved Megan here to get her to 5-star. That's going to give you a couple more skill ups. So that'll be good. Looks like you're going to need them. You have given her already 1. So getting this skill is actually quite important. I need to feed some more Mystic Witches to my Megan. So okay, looking at your team here, what could I recommend? You got the Fire Sylphid here. Oh, this isn't the Fire Sylphid. So this is different. She's not going to be as useful. The Fire Sylph has the Speed Leader skill. So let's take a look at this monster. Maybe we'll learn a little something. Sacrifices your hit points to recover the hit points of allies. Attacks all kind of just like, that's the same way that the Hall of Heroes works for the Sylphid dungeon right now. Attacks all enemies with a fiery tornado, so we got an AoE attack here. Increases the attack bar of allies, that's really good. But she doesn't really come highly recommended from what I've heard, so we're going to just pass over her and take everybody else's advice. So, let's see. I'm not seeing a speed leader. Not sure who your current leader is. It might be Julian with the hit points here. He's got the leader skill that gives you extra hit points. So that's, oops, didn't mean to close that. So that's not a bad choice, but speed teams are just so important in this game, and I don't like it. I don't like that speed teams are so important or so overpowered, but it's a fact we have to live with and just try to compete with other people who have those speed teams. So so you still got your imps here. I went ahead and so you could 5-star these imps as you have time to, and then that'll help you get your first 6-star monster. That's up to you. I got rid of a couple of my imps because they weren't as useful as they used to be for the dragons or for Giant's Keep. I think I'm running out of steam here. I'm talking a little bit slower. I'm losing my focus. Okay, so these are definitely solid to be on your arena defense team, and they're going to be solid for dungeons as well. I already gave you a couple tips on them. Your AU can definitely be a solid player in both dungeons and in arena, even though I don't think he's quite as strong in arena as dungeons. And you know what to do on your Megan. I already gave you advice on that. As far as a leader goes, though, try to get yourself a speed leader. You might just want to go with a water inugami like I recommended previously. It's going to give your Megan some better speed, and that's going to increase the attack bar of your other two monsters, and it's just going to hopefully let your whole team go before the other team. And if these two monsters can attack before the other team, it's going to put you in a very good place in most arena battles. So that's a possibility, and it's also very possible to go with Amin and Megan. I can't really say it's going to give you any advantage over anybody else in the 1200 to 1300 arena bracket. But if you rune your monsters properly, get some 6-star runes and focus on those, like I've suggested, especially this one, it might just put you a step above. It's definitely going to give you a solid team there. So I can't really recommend too much else. Probably don't work on your Saik too much more because you have the Megan. You know what to do with that. You're a Dark Phantom Thief, pretty good monster, but I'm not seeing too much use out of him. He's more single target, and his leader skill's not as good as your Julian. So you could 5-star. It'd be a very what I would probably do is I'd probably 5-star him and then get him level 1, feed him to your Julian when you're making him level 6. He would probably be my choice as the first 6-star monster. I mean, he was my first 6-star monster, and I never regretted it. He's just super powerful, and I'd probably focus on him for your first 6-star. And you can't have everything in this game. That's kind of the way I've been going about it, and that's why I have 3 6-star monsters. You kind of have to pick a team, not just one. I mean, you can have 10 to 14 different monsters that you like, but once you start getting more than 14 that you like and you're trying to level them all up, you're never going to have a really strong team if you just keep going to 4-star and 5-star with every monster you get. So going to 4-star and 5-star is good to test out different team builds and things. But I'd probably feed your Dark Phantom Thief to your Julian as you're making him a 6-star. That would be one of the 5-star level ones that I would feed him. So keep doing what you're doing. Your team's looking pretty good. You got quite a bit to work with. Hopefully you'll get a speed leader or something. Maybe you'll go with the water inugami. But this video is the longest I've ever recorded, so anybody who's still listening, thanks for sticking with me. I hope you learned something this video, and congratulations to the users who got picked this time. I'm going to try to do this on a regular basis, but I'm not going to be able to do it, let's say, at a certain time every single day. But keep helping each other out in Channel 5001. It's just fantastic what you guys are doing there. And if you're in Channel 5001, that's when I'm going to be posting the next time I'm going to do a video like this. So just lurk there, help people out, and really appreciate it, guys. You're all awesome. Take care. Free to Play Gaming signing out.